Hey everybody, it's Derek Christensen from Legion Law. Hope you're having a great morning. Today I wanted to talk to you about why do you need a will even if you're going to go through probate either way. That being said, I want to let you know how to reach out to me first. You can email me directly at Derek, D-E-R-E-K, at legionlawpllc.com, or you can find me at my website, www.legionlawpllc.com. So that being said, let's dive right in. This is a concern I run into sometimes. People understand probate, and the very first thought they have is, I'm going to go through probate no matter what the circumstances. And that's a terrible thing. And so why do I even need an estate plan first if I'm going to have the same crappy result at the end? And my response is twofold. One, there are ways to avoid probate, so that's wrong. But two, there are better ways to do probate. There are ways to make your probate easier and faster and many fewer headaches, way fewer headaches for everybody involved if you do certain things. And certain things includes having a will. So let me dive into a couple of the specificities. So the first thing is that, let's define probate first. Probate is the legal process by which you have to go before a judge, and the judge will validate the will, make sure that the will was done correctly, and he will state exactly what will happen to your assets after you pass away. Now, if you don't have a will, you still have to go through probate, but you have to find out who would get what under the default rules of your estate, and then you figure out, okay, who gets what, how should things be split up, who's in charge of splitting everything up. So it's a two-step process without a will, and it's a one-step process with a will. So that was kind of the hint to the first major benefit of a will, but the first major benefit of having a will, even if you're going to go through probate, is that a will makes it faster and easier because you don't have to figure out who is going to be in charge of splitting everything up and who's going to receive everything. So more specifically, under Texas, there's called dependent administration, and that is where you have to go before a judge and get everything approved. Every single thing you do, selling a house, transferring a bank account, whatever it is. And those happen almost all the time if you don't have a will, because default is I apologize. Dependent administration is the default under Texas law. Now, almost every single will under the sun is going to say independent administration is going to happen instead of dependent. And so independent is much faster, much cheaper, much better, but the default is dependent, and dependent is where you got to do all this crap. And so if you don't have a will, you're in the default category of dependent administration. So that's a problem. That's a really big problem. Wills help make sure that your probate goes much faster. That's the first point. The second point is that a will designate exactly who gets what. And under the default rules, you don't know exactly who's going to get what. So more specifically, under the default rules in Texas, your parents have a claim, your siblings do, and if you don't have those, then you have other people like cousins, aunts, uncles, and all of a sudden your family tree can be very large and you get 20 people involved. And it's very, very rare to get 3 people to agree on where to go to dinner, let alone 20 people to get free money. So that causes problems as well, because family drama is going to happen, people are going to start suing each other, and a whole bunch of fights will happen because too many people are getting involved because they have to under the default rules. On the other hand, if you have a will, it states 2 people are getting my stuff. My wife and my friend gets a small little gift or whatever. At the end of the day, my wife and my friend are the only people who have say on what happens to my probate. And those 18 other people or whatever, all these other people that would have been involved, they have 0 say in what happens. So it cuts out all the family drama, it cuts out all the bickering and fighting and people getting upset at one another. And almost always, the people you're giving your stuff to, you love, they trust you, they want what's best for you, and so they're going to get along as well in probate. So that in and of itself makes it faster as well. So having a will is imperative, I would argue, to have an efficient and better probate. To give you specific numbers, I've seen probates with wills go for $4,000, $5,000 sometimes. And I've seen probates without wills get up to $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 because they can get so complicated and so expensive, and they take way longer as well. So, and as I said, you got to go before the judge all the time. You got to get approval from every single person. You got to find all their addresses. You got to find all their information. It's a disaster. And so, again, there's good, better, best when it comes to estate planning. The good option is just to have a will, and that's better than nothing. And if you have nothing, you're in a tough position for sure. So that's all I have to say about that. So get a will, at least, by a bare minimum. If you want to avoid probate altogether and just never deal with this ever, then get a trust. Set something up or figure out your beneficiary designations. There are plenty of other ways, and more than anything, work with an attorney to make sure you get it right, because at the end of the day, there's only one deadline to worry about, and that's when you pass away. And that deadline is permanent, and you can't undo things after you pass away. And if you get it right beforehand, you're great, and if you get it wrong beforehand, you're screwed, to be quite frank. So that being said, that's kind of all the information I have on that topic for today. Let me know if you have any questions. And again, feel free to reach out to me. My email is Derek, D-E-R-E-K, at legionlawpllc.com. Or you can find me at my website, www.legionlawpllc.com. So thanks, guys, and have a great day.